Hello everyone, in this video we are continuing our discussion of the 6 criteria used by scientists to classify kingdom Animalia into different phylum. And we have reached the third point of discussion, which is whether the organism is diploblastic or triploblastic. So let us find out what do we mean by diploblastic or triploblastic organisms. So the story of life begins when male and female gamete fuse to form a single cell structure which is called as zygote. We all know that. And now this zygote, after multiplying, forms an 8-cell stage. Mind you, the size of the cluster of cells remains same as that of zygote, as you can see in this diagram also. What happens is zygote will give rise to first mitotic division resulting in 2 cells. Then it will divide again in the second mitotic division resulting into 4-cell stage. Then we'll have a third mitotic division which will yield 8-cell structure, which we are seeing in this diagram. This is the 8-cell stage. Now what happens is that these 8 cells again multiply and still the size of everything is remaining same as that of zygote. So this 32 cell stage, this is a 32 cell stage which is called as blastula, which is a hollow ball. That means the cells, these 32 cells have been arranged towards the periphery of a sphere, making the ball hollow. Now if we see a cross section, if we cut that ball, imagine a tennis ball and we are cutting it with a knife, and we can see there is a hollow cavity inside that, and that cavity is called as blastocele. Now why is it important? Then we have a process called gastrulation, that is the process of formation of germ layers. Now what do we mean by germ layers is that we have 3 type of germ layers which give rise to almost say everything of an organism. So this process happens after the formation of blastula, and when this process of germ layer formation occurs, it is called as gastrulation. And now coming to this final diagram and the most important diagram, what happens is formation of 3 germ layers, out of which 2 have been mentioned. The inner one is called as endoderm and the outer one is called as ectoderm. And soon after we have a middle layer which is called as mesoderm. Now why this is important? This is important for you to understand so that you could come to the real meaning of diploblast and triploblastic organisms. Now if we see this diagram which is mentioned in NCERT, we can see that these 2 layers, ectoderm which is the outer, ecto means outer, endo means inner, derm means layer. So outer layer is called as ectoderm, inner layer is called as endoderm, and a layer which is found between these 2 cells is called mesoderm. The organisms which have 3 layers, these 3 germ layers are called as triploblastic organisms. And the organisms which have only outer one called as ectoderm and the inner one called as endoderm, these having 2 layers, germ layers, are called as diploblastic organisms. One key point you need to remember about diploblastic organisms is that between the outer layer and inner layer they have a specialized connective tissue which is called as mesoglia. So this is a characteristic features of diploblastic organisms. So this diagram on the left side is showing a diploblastic organism, whereas on the right side we have a triploblastic organism showing all the 3 germ layers. Now out of curiosity you may be thinking, what do these germ layers do? For the curiosity point of view and for just an extra cut of knowledge, you must know that ectoderm is giving rise to the epidermis of the skin. The skin epidermis and nervous system is derived from ectoderm, the outer layer. The middle layer, mesoderm, has a key role in development of notochord, and it's mentioned in the NCERT also. Notochord is derived from mesoderm, that is the middle germ layer between ectoderm and endoderm. Then we have excretory, circulatory and reproductive systems being developed from mesoderm. And now coming to the inner layer which is called as endoderm, it gives rise to most of the glands per se, in which we have an example of liver, pancreas, thyroid, parathyroid glands. These are all derived from the innermost layer which is called as endoderm. Now coming to the real topic and we have laid the foundation for this topic. Which organisms will be called as diploblastic? Animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, which is in which the external layer is called as ectoderm, inner layer is called as endoderm, and we have a special layer called as mesoglia, which is an undifferentiated layer just between ectoderm and endoderm. As we have already discussed, these are the important lines from NCERT. So diploblastic organisms have only two layers. And now coming to the triploblastic organisms. In this, the developing embryo has three embryonal layers, or say three germ layers, and mesoderm lies between ectoderm and endoderm. So the examples of triploblastic organisms lies from the 4th phylum till the 11th phylum onwards. And so we can come to know that the first phylum Porifera, second phylum Coelenterata, third phylum Ctenophora all have diploblastic organization. So with this, I hope it is clear to you which animals will be called as diploblastic animals and which animals will be called as triploblastic organisms. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you like this video.